If you regularly watch these weekly updates of Ethan and Ingrid's Big Year, you know all about the yellow-headed Caracara. You know that it is an opportunistic scavenger from Central and South America, and for the last year, a single yellow-headed Caracara has been moving around Miami, Florida. You also know that Ethan and I hate this bird, and maybe it hates us. And that's where last week's video update ended. 3 visits and 15 hours of fruitless searching. A cruddy way to end week 28. Welcome to the week 29 update of Ethan and Ingrid's Big Year. Despite our significant frustration, however, we weren't quite ready to be done with this miserable bird.
Now, the rest of the story.
It was Saturday morning, July 13th, and Ethan and I were enjoying a leisurely breakfast. Our plan was to spend the day playing tourist, to visit Sanibel Island and other sites in the area, take a break from birding, and decompress a bit. As we sipped our coffee and ate our pancakes, we both kept looking at our phones. The bloody yellow-headed Caracara had been seen just a few hours after we left Oleta River State Park the evening before. Were we really going to fly home to Maine without trying one more time? The answer was, of course not. So we packed up our bags and once again made the long drive across Florida's Alligator Alley, arriving at the park once again about noon. Since it was a weekend, there were more beachgoers, kayakers, and a few birders. We met Gordon Payne and Lisa Bonato, 2 accomplished birders from Ontario, Canada, with whom we exchanged phone numbers and war stories. Once again, the real field temperature exceeded 110 degrees, so we spent much of the next 7 hours in the air-conditioned car, hoping our yellow-headed nemesis would come into the dump stores or one of the picnic pavilions around the park. Finally, about 7 p.m., sweaty, bored, frustrated once again, and dreading the 2-hour drive back to our hotel, we said goodbye to Gordon and Lisa and headed out into Miami's Saturday night traffic. 20 minutes later, Ethan's phone jingled. It was Gordon. The bird was in the parking lot. Should we go back? It was 7:20. The park would close at 8 p.m. and traffic was heavy. As Ethan started doing the math, I knew we had to turn around immediately if we had any chance of getting the bird. I made an executive decision, and Ethan did a U-turn that would have made Batman proud. Driving as fast as possible, weaving through traffic. Fortunately, we hit an incredible stretch of green lights before wading through 3 straight interminable reds just before the park. The park ranger at the gate didn't want to let us in at 7:48, but we pled our case and she waved us through. It took us about 10 minutes of searching in the fading light until the yellow-headed Caracara flew low over our heads near the dumpsters and disappeared into the woods. Not the most satisfying view, but countable. After 5 months, 4 visits, and over 20 hours of searching, we finally had our yellow-headed Caracara tick.
Now you know the rest of the story.
We returned to Maine on Sunday at midnight and were back out birding on Tuesday morning, this time on a whale watch out of nearby Boothbay Harbor. Whale watches are an excellent way to find the incredible seabirds that patrol the world's oceans, many only coming to land to nest. Whales tend to find spots where plankton and krill are prevalent, the same places that the birds congregate. Most of the folks on whale watches are tourists who are underdressed, it can be quite cold, and a little naive about whales. It can take several hours to find them. After a while, these passengers start watching Ethan and I call out and photograph various species and often ask us questions and help point out birds. And we'll let you in on a nasty little secret. Birders are actually hoping the boat crew does not find any whales. No whales means the boat will stay out at sea longer, and sometimes you'll get a free ticket for another whale watch. By the end of the trip, we picked up 2 new birds for the year. A couple of red phalaropes moving south from their Arctic breeding area, probably females that have laid their eggs and left the males behind to care for their young, a gender role reversal that is rare in the avian world, but standard among phalaropes. We also saw 2 northern fulmars, bird number 619 for the year. Next week is another whale watch, this one out of Bar Harbor, Then we'll travel to northern Maine to look for the elusive three-toed woodpecker.
Thanks for watching this weekly recap of Ethan and Ingrid's 2024 Big Year. Remember to visit our blog at bigyearbirding.com. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the subscribe button. And if you want more of this silliness, we also have a Facebook and Instagram page. Happy birding!